Please take note, in addition and subtraction of negative numbers, the following words can be used to analyze the negative sign. Okay. For example, if you look at, you see this symbol. Okay, you look at this, that's what you see. Okay, so take for instance, you see this. Can anybody tell me, if you see that, what do you normally see? How do you normally read this? If you see that, what do you normally see? So you can say -5. But if you are in addition and subtraction, there's something else you can say. All right, you can say take out 5. So you can say -5, you can say take out 5. You can say win 5 or O5. Okay. You can even say don't have 5. And you can say many more. Please bear in mind, in addition and subtraction. All right, for addition and subtraction. Okay, don't forget. Okay. Addition and subtraction. All right. So take for example, you have a 5 and you have 5. This is actually -5 and -5. Okay, because if you have to separate these two numbers, we've seen 5 and we've seen 5 and we have the negative. That negative sign, it belongs to that 5, and that negative sign belongs to that 5. So if we have to separate those two numbers, separate them, we cannot. This will be wrong. This will be totally wrong. Please bear that in mind. This will be wrong. This will be the correct thing to do. So that's a -5 and a -5. A -5 and a -5 means that you're going to take out 5 and you're going to take out another 5. Or you owe 5 and you owe another 5. So that means you take out 10 in all, or you owe 10. So that's where a negative and a negative is a negative. Okay, so please bear that in mind when it comes to negative sign for addition and subtraction. Okay, so for example, now when we look at this first question we have there, okay, we have 5. That's number 5, sorry. So now we are numbering instead of letters, we are numbering. So that's 5 in the worksheet. Okay, that's 5 in the worksheet. Okay, let's put 6. because of that 555. I don't want you all to confuse that 5. So let's use 6. Let's use 6. You know, we have an open bracket, and that's actually you can see that's -6, right? -3 and -3 is -6. So you have a -8 minus a -3. Okay. So to insert, we go to equations. We have a bracket, -8, close bracket, we have a minus, open bracket, we have a -3, close bracket. Is that what we have? Let's just verify. -8, -3. Okay. So you know what actually is happening there. This is a -1 times -8. Okay. That's -1 times -8. Okay. So please bear that in mind. -1 times -8. That's -1 times -8. Or if we want to separate, okay, if we want to separate, then okay, we don't need that yet, right? If you want to separate, let me just show you what you can do, because what you're trying to build now is comprehensive handling numbers, understanding them instead of just rushing in the calculator and punching numbers. You know, you can handle them. If you want to take some time and scrutinize what is happening there, you want to do some things with that. You've seen two numbers there. You've seen an 8 and a 3. You've seen a negative and negative. You've seen a negative sign there. Let's say you want to separate things to get things into perspective. This would be wrong. That would be totally wrong. Anytime you have a sign, it is attached to something on the right. Anytime you see a sign, it is attached to something on the right. What is that thing? A number. Anytime you see a sign, it is attached to a number on the right. Please take note. Never forget this. Anytime it could be a positive or negative, especially a negative. Anytime you see a negative sign, because normally the positive sign is not normally shown. If you don't see a sign, there's a positive. Anytime you see a negative sign, it is attached, capital letters. It is attached. It is stuck. It is stuck. That was stuck spelling. To the number, the right. Okay. The right side of it. If there isn't any visible number, then there is an invisible one. There's an invisible one. Okay, so this would be wrong because that negative sign, you know, negative sign, it belongs to that one. So therefore, now if we have to separate, we have to go there, and now we can separate. This will be the correct thing. That would be the correct thing to do. Okay. That's -8. A negative times a negative. No, there's an invisible and there. That's -8 and -1 times -3. There's an invisible plus inside there, you know. You don't see anything there. When you don't see anything, then there's an invisible and. That's another thing you can take note. If in, or you can say in any blank space big space in arithmetic, there is an invisible and what and means? We say a plus. There's an invisible and, which is a plus. Okay, blank, BLNK, right? So there's an invisible plus going on there, you know, right? That's -8 and this, that's -8. And what is that? That's -1 times -3. That's a +3. Okay, that's a +3. -1 times -3 is a +3. Now we owe it, but we only have 3. All right, we owe it and we have 3. This is what it is. We're taking out the owe 3 and you owe 8 and you have 3. You know, you're taking out 8 and you're just putting back 3. You're still taking out 5. Okay, so that's -8 plus 3, or you can say 3 subtract 8 is a -5. Okay, so that is actually -8 plus 3, because a negative times a negative is a positive. That's -8 plus 3. -8 plus 3 is a -5. Okay, please take note of these important points with regard to negative numbers, adding and subtracting negative